Well, before writing that method, I think it is good for us to set up the callback URL. So as you can see, I just did set up the URL that does not exist. Okay, it doesn't exist. And if we use localhost here, the M-Pesa is going to throw an error that will be saying that invalid callback URL, because localhost is offline. Okay, so we have to run the grok. So grok is like it is going to listen to our localhost, and is going to listen to any request that comes to it, and then it's going to forward to us. So what we are going to do is to first set up this callback. So here, instead of this, we're just going to do this. We are just going to set up this route here. Let me just cut it. Let just be that. It is just okay like that. But then you have to set up that route. So you have to go to api.php file, api.php file, and then you have to set up that route. So we'll do route has to be post like that. We can leave it. Okay, and then after that we are going to do the controller method that is going to deal with that. So that is confirmation. Sorry. So let's just set up that function, that method, and let's just call it public function M-Pesa res, and just call it M-Pesa res, and then of course it request like that. So this is the method that's going to deal with that. So sorry guys. So after that we are going to you're just going back to here, and then you are going to set up that is M-Pesa controller, and that method. So this is the method that is going to handle any request that will be coming to this URL. Okay, so after setting up this, now we are good to go. But then we have to start our grok server. We have to start the grok application so that it can listen to our local server. So what we are going to do is to let me just go to my desktop and open another terminal window. Well, so to run grok on localhost that is 127.0.0.1 port 8000, we just do grok and then http 127.0.0.1 and then the port, which is 8000, like that, and hit enter. And grok is going to link with port 8000. So this is the secure URL, so you are going to use this as callback URL here. So let's just copy that. Well, if you want to know more about grok, you just go to grok website, and then you will get more information. So now grok is listening to port 8000. So you have copied this URL. You have to go to the code and paste it as the callback URL. So you'll not use 127.0.0.1, but you are going to use the grok one. So let's go to M-Pesa controller, and under the callback URL up to here we are going to paste that grok URL like that. So for us to test if that response is coming, let us just do one thing. Let's add one thing to the table. Let's just go to migration, this migration here, and we are going to add just one field. Table. I'm going to make it text, and then data type is text, and I'm just going to call it response like that. So after that I'm going to do a PHP artisan migrate fresh again. Okay, there's something that will cause a problem if we don't solve, if we run that, we do that response. For example, yeah, let's say that's default for all these fields, otherwise it's going to throw an error. So default pay. I'm just setting default for testing. There's something I want to show. I want to show the response that comes so that I can show you how we can extract and save it in these fields. So you can just do sign like that. So let's just save this table like this, and let's also put this one. Let's do response. So this, the reason why I'm doing this is that okay, this default also need default. And just let's do 200. And these two 200. So I was saying that the reason why I'm doing this is that I want to test this table by just saving response alone. And if we do that, when these fields don't have default data, it's going to throw an, it's not going to save this, it's going to throw an error because these fields are required, or we could have done it, made them nullable, but that's, I just wanted to do, to put in default data so that I can able to save the response in this field here. Okay, so after that we can again do the migrate fresh. Okay, so we have done with that. So we have, let's go back to the controller, and we're just going to say transaction, is equals to, okay, let's just call it response is equals to request and then get content. Get content method like that. So this is going to get the content that will be coming to this URL, and then after getting that content, we are just going to do a transaction is equals to new M-Pesa transaction. And you have to import it here. You have to use it, so you have to do use app and then M-Pesa transaction like that. So after that, we're just going to do that, and then after that you are going to do transaction and then response. So this is that response field that we just set up, so is equals to response, and then you're going to save that transaction save. Well, so I think you have to encode. I don't know if it comes encoded, but let's just encode JSON encode response. So after doing this, we now save it. Okay, so let's try it. So if I do an SDK push, and then it pops up that push on my M-Pesa on my phone here, I'm going to pay like 2 shillings. So let me just change here to 2 shillings. This for testing. I'm just change to 2 shillings and save. So it's going to send here. It's going to send that request to this. That is the grok that is running here, and it is going to forward that to our locals, and it is going to be saved if that will go on well. So let's try it and see. So let me hit the send. So I've received the push. So let me just enter the pin and hit OK. Well, M-Pesa send a confirmation message. Well, so I don't know, but let's hope everything went on well. So let's go to the database and check. Okay, now there is a problem. Not found. So it did not find this route. I don't know why, but we did set up. But this shows that the response came. So it sent this data, but this route was not found. So we have to check how we did set up. I don't know why it is not finding this route. Let's try to remove that and see. Okay, let's try it posting there and see if that Alright, let's just try to post there anything. Let's try posting there this data and see what happens. And not this. It is not this. It is this one here. Okay, it returns null. So let's go to the database and check. Just refresh. Okay, add the new request. Let's see the data that was saved. Actually, now the data that was saved was the one that we just tested. So I think it is working now. So let's do it. Let's send STK push again. So you have to go here and resend it. I'm entering the pin. I am waiting for confirmation message from Safaricom. I entered the pin. I have received the confirmation message. So let's go and check Grok if it worked. Not found. What is going on here? Not found again. Let's check why. Okay guys, let me look for the solution, then I'll come back in the next video. Thank you so much. So guys, welcome back again, and I've just realized why the route is not found. Well, the route is not found because as you can see here, I told you while I was beginning that all the routes that are set up in api.php file, they have a prefix of API, okay? But in the controller, we didn't include that API here, so you have to include API. So that is why that route is not found. So all the API routes, they have a prefix of API, so you have to put API here. So let's save it and send that request again. So let's go here and then send that request again. I've received the pop-up. I'm entering the pin. Let's see now what happened this time round. And there you go. You see, it said okay, meaning that that response came and it went on well. So let's open our PHP-MyAdmin and see. Let's just refresh and see. And now we have our, as you can see, we have this information here. So this is the information we have received. So let's just let me just copy it and go to PHP JSON decode online. So let me just paste that there, and now you can see the information that we have. We have the merchant ID, we have the result code, you have the response description, callback, you have the amount, you have the M-Pesa receipt number, you have the balance, you have the transaction date, you have the phone number. So you see the phone number is here. Okay, yeah, so that is it. So we are receiving that response. So we are receiving the response from Safaricom. So what you have to do is just to save that data to the database. Phone number, transaction date, balance, M-Pesa receipt number, name, and then so these are the data that you are receiving. So let's just do the M-Pesa receipt number, amount, so let's do this. So instead of saving, you can save that response, but you can set up the parameter, for example, transaction phone number phone number. So here we have to decode this. Remember, we have to decode this. So we'll just do this JSON decode. You have to decode that first so that you can be able to get the phone number and other credentials. So you have phone number. Let's just confirm. I don't know why these are totally different from what you expect. These are totally different, the detail that came. For example, you have M-Pesa receipt, balance, and transaction date, phone number. So I think this is the data that is usually sent when you are doing a test. You are doing a testing, but on the real pay bill number, I know that these are the details that usually come. And this data that is saved in the database, these are the ones that usually come. So because I've done it several and I know these are the details that usually come when that the one it is a real pay bill number. So I think when doing the testing, they don't send the same information. I'm just seeing it here. You have they send M-Pesa receipt number, balance, transaction date, phone number. and then amount. So amount, as you can see, I paid 2 shillings and the value, the amount as 2 shillings. M-Pesa receipt, that is that code that I just received, and then the balance, the balance. Of course, since this is not our pay bill number, just for testing, they can't send that organization balance. And then you have transaction date, and then you have the phone number. So guys, these are the data that I usually send. So if you want to save them, you just extract them, and then you just extract them and save them to the database. But now this is just for testing. The live database, the live pay bill number has these credentials here. So make sure that when you're going live, you change those credentials to these ones, because these are the ones that will come on the live pay bill number. So remember, the one that you are using is just for testing, this one here. So there is some information not to be sent. So after receiving that information, this function here, this method here is going to receive that request, and then you are using this method get content. So it's going to get the content of that request that comes to it, and after getting that content, we are going to save it to the database. So we are setting up new M-Pesa transaction, that is the model, and then we are setting the response to, we are encoding the response that comes, because the reason why you are encoding that, you can't save JSON data in the database, so you have to encode it. And then after that, you can extract all these other parameters and save them also. Okay, so basically that is it, guys. In case you have any question, let me know and I'll just reply to you as soon as possible. I think that's enough for today, and in the next video I'm going to show you how to extract those details that comes now and save them to the database, and then I'll show you how to make it dynamic, so that instead of putting these things the way they are here, for example, these details, for example, the party A, party amount, and all this, we are going to make a form where we can now ask the user these details and save them. So thank you so much, and let's meet in the next video.